Well, hello. Today I'm in Eastside Costa Mesa, my neighborhood. My name is Renee Pina, vintage home expert and preservation advocate, and I've got a treat for you today. Are you somebody like me who loves the rare historical gems? Perhaps even the rage of the 1960s mid-century modern? Well, I have something very special for you. Well, hello. We're here today with Ron Gio, fellow preservation advocate, to discuss the legendary works of the late Herb Brownell, an architect who was instrumental in developing a lot of the mid-century modern properties throughout and even public work buildings. So, Ron, tell us, how did you meet Herb?
Well, I met Herb early in my career when I first got an architectural license and wanted to join the AIA, and I needed a sponsor. And I had always admired his little studio on Coast Highway. It's just such a great thing. It's just wonderful. So I went up and knocked on the door, and Herb answered, and I told him that I needed a sponsor to join the AIA, and he said, okay. And we were friends ever since.
Well, that's wonderful. So he was a mentor to you as a young architect. That's pretty
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, I really admired all of his work. You know, he created homes that were warm and comfortable for the family. You know, not a showcase. It's just things that really worked well for the family and keep them happy in that. And he had a remarkable number of homes, as well as hospitals and office buildings and everything.
And you were saying even the Hoag Children's
Wing? Yeah, the children's
wing
wing at Hoag Hospital is really a marvelous little hexagon building. It's fun, yeah.
And you said his office, which is on Coast Highway, that is still there today.
Still there.
Tell us a little bit about that building.
Well, he built it on an unbuildable piece of land, which he was good at doing. It's a steep cliff. The Irvine Company owned the land and didn't want it because it was unbuildable. So he bought it and he built it himself, basically. You know, and he was a redwood collector. He loved redwood. You know, so he had a good time with it, and he went through a lot of changes in his office, from being small to being large to having partners and no partners, having his son work for him. His son worked for me for a while, and it was good to follow him.
Well, you know, during my research, I was surprised that he has built, actually, created so many properties throughout Orange County. Properties that we would seemingly drive by every day and not know that, he was responsible for them. Well, I've got a treat today, as I shared with you, that I have the original plans here to this historic gem. And just to educate our viewers that the National Historic Register deems any property 50 years or older is considered historical. So these plans are from 1963. For a historic gem here we have in Eastside Costa Mesa. Tell us how, often do you see the original plans?
Not too often. And Herb Brownell was famous for conserving the number of sheets he'd do. And I don't see it on this particular set of plans, but a lot of times he would write on the borders and upside down and just filling the whole thing with notes, and made it a little harder to read. But he always had a good set of plans, and it's remarkable, even though they're a little tattered. But like all of us, we age well.
Well, and it's just another perk of, getting a property that has the original plans and the history and is unique. And that's, really what played well with the mid-century architecture. Not too many were duplicated, really one of a kind.
Right, exactly. And that's what mid-century is about. Not all the tract houses that are mass-produced, and that is to create, one of a kind, each one. And this is a perfect example that could be on the registry for historical significance. Unfortunately, a lot of Herb's homes, especially in Shorecliff, have been torn down and built up with big mansions and that. So this is a little jewel nested in Costa Mesa that's certainly worth having a loving owner to take care of it.
Well, rumor has it, it was entirely built with privacy in mind, which I think a lot of the mid-century, attributes really takes into consideration, along with seamlessly bringing in the indoor and outdoor concept.
Exactly. Yeah, the indoor-outdoor, which Frank Lloyd Wright was the first one to expound, is relevant in almost all of the mid-century homes, starting way back with the case study homes with Charles Eames and Ed Killingsworth, and especially the spatial elements of it. But I learned a lot from Herb in my own practice, just studying what he accomplished. And one of the things that really made me interested is almost every one of his projects he tried to incorporate art within the home. And so that was something I always strived to do too. It's kind of fun.
Well, I love the Asian influence. I mean, I read that he spent a lot of time overseas, getting inspiration. And I think that's another huge attribute of what I love about the mid-century homes. What do you have to say about that?
He and Phoebe, his wife, they made several trips to the Orient and had a good time there. And you learn a lot about simplicity from Japanese architecture. One of my professors of landscape architecture at USC, he was also married a Japanese lady, and he was really influenced with that. And the design of the arrival into a home, shouldn't just come up and knock on a door, what you do when you arrive and go through, and shoulder brushing pines and things like that. It's really neat.
Which is another huge thing I love about this property is we've got a 60-year-old bonsai out front. I mean, that is just so rare that you see that every day, and that's a really nice and unique attribute as well.
It's a fun house.
Thank you, thank you. I am so grateful we were able to sit down and share a little bit and talk about Herb and his legacy. And for more information, keep watching, and we'll share a couple of little sneak peeks of what's to come. Thank you for watching.